Have you ever met somebody that is just so unhinged that you accidentally make a social media platform because of them? Well, that's what happened in my case, and it's all because of my mother-in-law that we are here today. I'll do a quick recap if you are new here and you just watch my skits. My skits are somewhat based off of my mother-in-law. I use her personality to make my mother-in-law characters, so I will do a quick recap of how my mother-in-law basically inspired my characters. I'm going to try to speed through these real quick because it's a lot. I'm probably going to go out of order. This is just stuff that I can remember off the top of my head. When my husband and I first met, she told my husband that I'm not good enough for him and that he needed to be with a fellow military member because at the time he was active duty Marines. She threatened that if she ever saw me in person, that she'd be more than willing to go to prison for what she would do to me. She threatened to sue us for grandparent rights to, at the time, our unborn son, the first pregnancy. And she threatened to sue us for grandparent rights for my twin daughters who have no relation to her, or no blood relation to her. She threatened to sue my husband for elder abuse because my husband stopped paying her bills. And let me just say, this woman is more than capable of paying her own bills. During my first pregnancy, I was successfully able to get a protective order against my mother-in-law because of the threats that she had made towards me, but it expired after a year. And she ended up threatening to sue us for grandparent rights once again when she found out I was pregnant with our second son. When we lived in North Carolina, my mother-in-law did know where we lived. She would threaten to come to our home, and that would scare the absolute crap out of me because who would want to be around somebody that said that they're more than willing to go to prison for doing whatever, to you that would get them there. From 2019 until 2023, she made our lives an absolute hell. I started my TikTok journey all because of her. I started making anonymous videos with my dogs, just venting about my whole situation with her and what was going on. Let me just tell you, I didn't think that it was going to pop off as much as it did, and apparently having a miserable mother-in-law is more common than I actually believed at the time. I thought I had the absolute craziest mother-in-law, but unfortunately there are so many mother-in-laws out there like my mother-in-law. When I was in labor, my husband told her I was in labor, and that was one of our biggest mistakes because she ended up making my labor and delivery all about her, and it got to the point where my husband was crying in the bathroom because his mom was being so mean to him. She was just being absolutely ruthless. I know I said that this was going to be a quick summary, but there has been so much that has gone on between her and us, but I am happy to say that I think she may have finally gotten the hint that we no longer, we have tried multiple times to remedy the situation, but every single time it has just backfired on us, and my husband just ends up hurt after every single time he tries to remedy the situation. But I think she's finally gotten the hint that my husband does not want a relationship with her and that our family is more important than she is, which is fair because it is. Here is a 2025 kind of update. What comes around goes around, and certain family members are starting to realize, well, maybe mother-in-law is the problem, and mother-in-law is just, let's just say, losing more and more of her supporters every single day. And that means like people that were super close to her, they no longer want to have a relationship with her, and it's relieving to know that people are starting to see that we weren't the problem and that my mother-in-law, any problem that she made for herself was made by herself, and it wasn't my husband's fault and it wasn't my fault. So it feels good knowing that people are starting to see. It sucks that it took about 6 years for people to see, but at least people are starting to see now.